guys, back again. You guys have left an incredible amount of comments and really shown these videos a lot of love in the Waiting for Warlords series, where we're waiting for the Warlords of Draenor. Now, of course, there's always other games you can play, but if you're a die-hard WoW fan and you're sitting at the end of an expansion, and if you're like me, you've been playing for quite a few years now, this is the time where you really start to drag. It's just not as much fun as it used to be when there's new content, there's new things to grind, there's side quests, there's legendary quests, there's farms, there's transmogs, there's challenge modes, whatever there may be. This is the time where we start to run out of stuff. So I'm here for you guys, help you out, give you another video on what you can do. And in this video, we're going to cover 3 more mounts. And these 3 mounts are actually all dungeon mounts, okay? Every single one of these can be soloed, and you can get them in dungeons. Now, I normally run them on Heroic. I don't know if it really matters, so don't quote me on that, but I always run them on Heroic just in case, because it really doesn't matter. So, the first one is in ZG, which is Zul'Gurub, and that is in the Stranglethorn Vale down below Stormwind. And what you're going to need is, you're going to need to go in there, and you're going to need to find High Priestess Kilnara. Now, she is actually in that temple, so if you actually go to the left, once you get in and kill the first guy, with the little cauldron, you go down the bridge, over the bridge, and then you take a left instead of going straight. You can actually go all the way around that way into the temple very, very quickly. You kill High Priestess Kilnara, and then she has a chance to drop the Swift Zulian Panther. Now, I actually own this mount. This is one of the few ones that I've talked about that have actually dropped for me because I have the worst RNG in the game, hands down. So, at the end of this clip of this particular dungeon, you will actually see the mount in action. Probably one of my favorite mounts. Took me a long time to acquire, and I was very proud when it finally happened. Now, the other 2, I have been trying to get these for a long time. Both of these, I've put over 200 attempts on both of these. No problem. No problem. Maybe more. Probably closer to 250. The first one is in Utgard Pinnacle. Okay, in Utgard Pinnacle, you want to run through and go to Scotty. Now, you have to run about halfway through the dungeon to get to Scotty, but you'll see Scotty and a blue proto drake standing next to each other. That is actually the drake that you get. So once you start the event, this is the one where you run down the hall, you kill all the ads, and then you pick up his harpoons. Okay, and then the game, he will eventually fly around on his drake. The game will give you a warning, says he's now in range of harpoons. You spam the harpoon machines, try to get 3 into him. Once you get 3 into him, Scotty will then come down. Once Scotty comes down, you pretty much kill the ads, kill Scotty, it's GG, and then he has a chance to drop them out. And that's really all you have to do. Now remember, this is in Northrend in Grizzly Hills in that big castle. Okay, so that's where you're going to find this dungeon. So remember that travel time is an issue. So before I get to the third one, I do want to make that point that you are kind of traveling all over, all over the world of Warcraft to kind of get these mounts and to try to get these. So while you're there, you might as well just clear the entire dungeon. You can get a lot of good stuff that can sell on the auction house. It's a good way to make gold. It's a good way to find maybe some cool transmog gear that you wouldn't necessarily always be out of your way to find. Especially like weapons. I found some pretty cool shoulders and helmets and weapons, like I said, in some of these dungeons. So I like to save them just in case, because you never know on your transmog. You might say, oh man, a new piece just came out, or a new tier just came out, or maybe in Warlords there's these shoulders that go really well with a dagger or something into that you've really wanted to use. So I always like to keep that stuff, mainly just out of principle, because I hate to run stuff multiple times if I don't have to. So anytime I can go in and get some free gear, and you can always vendor it if you don't want it and get some gold out of it too. So you can make a couple hundred gold, have some fun, and hopefully get a mount. So going into the third one, the third mount is in the Stone Core, and this one drops from Slab Height. And this is the Stone Drake. Now this is probably one of my favorite drakes in the game, and I have yet to get it. As far as actual dragon drakes go that you cannot buy, that you actually have to farm, this one's up there for me because it's black, it's green, it looks really cool, and it looks just like Slab Hide, so that's the one that I want. And I've literally ran this 250 times, easy trying to get this mount to drop, never seen it. I've had people who've, when Cataclysm was actually current, I'd had people who leveled their alts, and on their way up leveling, they would actually have the mount drop and get it. So you do not have to have this one on Heroic. I know that for sure, because I had 2 of my friends whisper me and say, hey, look what I got. And I then threw my keyboard out the window because I have literally been trying to get this mount forever. So, Yeah, guys, these are 3 mounts that you can actually go farm at any time that you want. You can farm them every day on every tune if you really want to, because remember, dungeons are on a daily reset, not the raid cooldown of the weekly reset. So if you really have a hankering for one of these mounts and you've got a couple 90s laying around, you can go solo this stuff, no problem at all. Just park them outside. You know, that's what I like to do, is I park an Alter 2 right outside the entrance, and then those are the ones that I farm that particular mount on, so that way I don't have to fly out or do anything. I just roll in, you know, bang everything down, see if the mount drops. If it doesn't, I just run back to the beginning, reset the instance, wait for the next day. That's all you got to do. So yeah, guys, I hope this helps. Hope this gives you something else to do. Also, if you have any other mounts or anything that farmable content that you would like me to make a video on, or anything else cool that you do while you're waiting for an expansion in between time, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. And I'd be happy to make a video on it if it's something you'd like to see. And as always, see you in the next one.